Finally, let us talk about relative clauses. Relative clauses are clauses that modify a noun phrase in a superordinate, often main, but not necessarily main, clause. Looking at this sentence from our Gothic novel, we can see that the portion highlighted in green, which I got of it from the train and the little I could walk through the streets, is modifying the noun phrase the glimpse in the main clause. And the whole sentence reads, Budapest seems a wonderful place from the glimpse which I got of it from the train and the little I could walk through the streets. Relative clauses fall into two major categories. The first one of these is restrictive relative clauses. Their function is to provide the information necessary to identify the specific referent of the noun phrase they modify. In the sentence we just discussed, there is a possibility of multiple glimpses existing, but the narrator is specifying that he's talking about the specific glimpse he got of Budapest from the train and from walking around the streets of the city, not any other glimpses. Non-restrictive relative clauses provide additional information not essential for the identification of the referent. Often, the referent of the NP is unique in some way, as in this sentence. The most western of splendid bridges over the Danube, which is here of noble width and depth, took us among the traditions of Turkish rule. The river Danube is unique. There are no other Danubes. There exists only one. Its description in the relative clause, which is here of noble width and depth, provides information about the Danube at that particular location, but it does not help distinguish this Danube from any other Danubes, since other Danubes do not exist. Punctuation rules that apply to relative clauses are as follows. Restrictive relative clauses are not separated from the noun phrases they modify, or the clause in which these noun phrases occur, by any commas. In the sentence you see here, he and his wife, the old lady who had received me, looked at each other in a frightened sort of way. The restrictive relative clause is who had received me. It modifies the NP, the old lady, specifying which of the multiple possible old ladies the narrator is talking about. As you can see, there are no commas separating the relative clause from the NP it describes. Non-restrictive relative clauses, however, must be separated from the rest of the clause by commas because they provide additional, often superfluous information as here. What devil or what witch was ever so great as Attila, whose blood is in these veins? Attila is, or was, a unique historical figure. The fact that his blood is potentially in the narrator's vein is extraneous to the comparison of devils or witches to this particular individual. A comma separates the relative clause from its noun phrase. And this concludes our discussion of subordination and the punctuation rules that apply to subordinate clauses.